They have a new program on Facebook called Live Producer. So I'm not sure. Hi, everybody. I think I'm live. Facebook has a new program called Live Producer. Kind of takes over on everything. And I'm not sure I can see comments while I am live with you, but I'm going to, hopefully I can. Go ahead and send me some hearts or some thumbs up, whatever. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry, this is very confusing. They wouldn't let me. Hello, Tammy. I can see your messages. I'm glad. This is a whole different setup than what I've been using with Facebook prior to this, so I am a little flustered. Well, that's good for me. I'm always flustered. Today we're doing block 6. It's called Paradox. This is going to be a challenging block. If you have questions on it after the video or want to ask me something, send me a message, give me a phone call, and I will walk you through it because this is interesting. But before we get going, I just want to know how everybody's doing. Are we surviving our stay at home and stay quarantined and all that good stuff? I actually have left the building and the property twice now in the last 2 days. One to vote and one to deliver, to take a package to the post office of fabric that I donated to the Barnes area EMT program, where they're making masks for anyone who's asking. They have sent some to Rice Lake, they're all over up the north end there. So I donated to them, I think, enough for them to do about 450 to 500 masks. So I have another donation here for one other person who has, Angela Reebok, who has been making masks for a while. Tammy says she hasn't killed her hubby yet. Yay! But hers are here. I'm waiting for her to come pick them up. So I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to stay home. Hubby's birthday's tomorrow. So he doesn't have a big presence on Facebook, but it's under under Dwayne Tanyan, which he never ever uses the name Dwayne. So that's always an interesting day when I have to say that. I'm just trying to see if I can forward into comments here. Okay, I think I can. It's just such a crazy world we live in. But so if anybody wants to give a shout out to him, you can do a shout out on my page. But he is 51 tomorrow, so he's got a few surprises he doesn't know about yet. Thanks to my good friend Melissa, who also helps me with all of this stuff. That's the best prize yet. But anyway, hi Jan. How are you? I'm glad to see more people's on here. I'm sorry. I know I have to look away to look at the computer, so I'm trying. Anyway, this is a more complicated block, but the block is beautiful when it's put together. It's also part of my advanced quilting class that I teach. This is what the block looks like put together. If you look at it and analyze it, it definitely has its own design going on in it, and I really like it. It's a quilt that I'd like to make all of these, but I also don't have a lot of patience for a lot of pieces. So if I can figure out a way to mass produce some of these sections and these squares, then I will make a whole quilt like this because I really like how this looks. So with that note, it is Paradox. It is block 6 of 12 that we're doing in our Cooped Up lessons. cooped up quilt. For this block, you will need, and I'm going to do it this way, I think. Ooh, look at that sunshine through there. I hope this turns out okay. You're going to need one of a dark blue or whatever color that is 5 1/4, one white one that's 5 1/4, one white one that is 5 1/2, and one white square that's 4 1/2. And you need 2 5-inch light blue or teal. You need 1 5 1/4 red and 2 5-inch reds. And then you need 4 of a yellow. Now, what I'm doing, again, mine is all scrappy, so it's whatever. Okay, is this better, Melissa? Can you see it better now? I hope. So hopefully, maybe when I get to the end, I'll put it down on the surface and I'll show it all again. But this is just the beginnings. Okay, so with all those fabrics in sizes, you're going to make this block. Boy, the sun is really fighting with this, isn't it? Sugar doodles. You're going to make this block. And you're going to make this block. For the first time in my life, I'm frustrated with the sun. Been craving it all winter, and now it's driving me nuts. So let me bring this camera down and see if this is better. Let's see. Needs a wider angle, I think. Is that better, Melissa? Tammy, anybody? Or should I do it like this? See, my screen now is so tiny, I can't see. Okay, the way this new program works, I used to have a whole computer screen of my face and whatever I was showing. Now I just have this little tiny thing. Okay, so hold close and scroll. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this, because the little screen on mine, I can't even see it. So I'm hoping that means, oh, I think I'm over too far. There we go. I'm hoping you guys can see it. All right, I'm going to go one more time at the top. And then go to the next one. Okay, and I know that this new video system from Facebook says you can pause me live. So if you want to pause it to see, hi again. If you want to pause it to see each one of those things and write them down, apparently you can do that with this now. So hopefully that's the case. So this block, again, like I said, is a little more complicated. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be good for you guys to learn because it's going to help you in the future. Let's see if I can get that to face me a little more. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your two, let me find the right page here. You're going to take your red and white 5 1/4 inch squares, and we're going to do that trick I taught you guys all, where you sew all the way around the outside, and then you cut it diagonally. And then you square them up to, I think it's 2 1/2. Yep, just want to double check, to 2 1/2 inch half square triangles like these guys. Oh, what's funny with the camera is I have my down here is a deep, deep purple and it looks blue on my screen. So hopefully you guys are seeing that. So once you have 4 of these squared up to 2.5 inch squares, and obviously I've already pressed them so they're nice and beautiful, then you're going to add your yellow squares. In my case, they're, oh man, I'm going to try and bring it down. That sun is really bad. In my case, they are pink with little arrows, gold arrows on them. So you're going to, let's get this here. Oops. You're going to make sure that this square has the white portion of it facing away from you, because that's the portion that's going to get these little triangles sewed onto them. So, and then when you're sewing these on, make sure you lay them out. Let's see if I can, is that better? Oh, I love making you guys sick. And the sun is just being mean. When you lay these out, there we go. I think this is better. Maybe not. There we go. When you lay these out, you want to make sure you're putting them on the right way. Oh, I had this all worked out. It was going to work so cool. And now it's being a pain in the butt again. There we go. All right, so the white is going to be away from you. Let's go back this way. Away from you. And you want to make sure when you put these triangles on here, that you're putting them on here so that they create a straight line across there. Okay, so you want to make sure this is a straight line. So if you put them on like this, you're not going to get a straight line. Hi, Sue. So you want to make sure that you're putting them on there like this. Okay, so you're going to sew this one like this, and this one. Then you open this up. It's kind of like a flying geese, but not completely. So you're going to sew it there, flip it open, press it, finger press it, or if you've got an iron next to you, then you're going to sew this one. And if you notice, I'm getting these corners to line up with the corners of this. That's going to give you that nice overhang here in the middle so that you get a nice straight line with no holes in it. So I'm going to bring the camera back up. I'm going to sew this real quick and show you what I mean. So let's try moving the camera again. And of course, my little dog is sitting in the chair behind me, trying desperately to kick me off the chair because she doesn't think I should be there. Oh, I almost did it. Again, I almost did it. I almost sewed them this way. And you're going to make sure this white is facing away from you. Because that white piece ends up being this little hidden object in your block. So it's that little pop of color. All right, so now I want to make sure this corner right here, and this line are straight. And you'll see the triangle is bigger than the square on purpose. So put it up in there. I always have my needle right before it. I don't have my leader, so hopefully this is going to work. There we go. And then sew your 1/4 inch. I'm lucky enough to have a thread cutter on my machine. So now I'm going to finger press this one back like this. And then I am going to put this, and I think I just did this wrong. This is how you can become confused. And I did. I sewed it just the way I didn't want you to do it. You want it to look with the white facing that way. So now I get to take this off, but let's sew it this way then. So the white facing away from me. See, I confused myself. So then you will put this on there, so that it creates a straight line, blah, 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 blah. Then you end up with this half of the block, which is, there's my two little pinky peachy ones, the purple and the white. Then the blue, the light blue, that you cut in four. Oops. You cut two of them into halves, so you got four of these triangles. Then they're going to be sewed with their long side up to the long side of this part of the block. I'm trying not to make this complicated, but I think I'm doing exactly what I didn't want to do. So I'm going to take this and sew it this way. I'm going to try this one more time on the, because I only have part of this block finished, because I like to be able to do it with you guys here. And hopefully I did it right this time. Because one of the things I was going to caution everybody with is, if you get this done and you get it done right, do all of this section. That way you're not coming back to it later going, well, which way is this supposed to go? And it happens with this portion of the block and with the other portion. So I'm going to try this again. And it ate it. Stupid sewing machine. Oops, get over there. There we go. Okay. There we go. That's much better. All right. Everybody still seeing this? Okay. So then you're going to take your ruler and just trim off this little extra, oops, where are we? Come on, camera. The little dog ears there, okay? So that it's nice and straight. Don't cut any more off of this other than the dog ears, because if you do, then you'll mess up the size of your block. So press it down nice. Take your ruler and make it straight the best you can. And I might have messed this up because I'm hanging over it. We're going to find out. I'm just going to cut those off for right now. The joys, you know, not everybody's perfect, including me. And this one might be. I don't like that. Okay, the reason I am hesitating here is I don't seem to have the same size triangles, which could happen. So we're just gonna do a little finagling here. I just want to make sure I've got somewhat of a straight line. Can you see that now? A little bit of a straight line. Okay, so then, knowing that, you want these two guys to fit together like this. And the best way to do that is to take this blue one and fold it in half towards the good side, because that's going to give you a little ridge or a little valley that you know you have to match up to the point of this block. Okay, so you take those two pieces together like so. Make sure that your indentation on this side matches that point. If you're longer on the outside edges, that's fine, because we're going to trim this down to 4.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera and me again back up to the sewing machine. How's everybody doing? Somebody tell me I'm not boring you to death. All right, so I'm on my 1/4 inch. I got it started. I'm still point to point there, so that's a good thing. And I'm stitching. So I'm not going to do a lot of this, but I wanted to make sure you see how this goes together. Okay. So this is your block. Let's see if I can get it to, boy, the sun is doing things. This is the block. Okay, up we go. Let's put it this way. Okay, this is the portion of the block. So then you're going to take your block lock ruler and lock it on this seam after you press it and trim these to 4.5 inches. Okay, so you'll end up with 4 of them that look like this, and I have a finished one. So this is what it looks like when it's all trimmed up and ready to go. Okay, so then you're going to do this, you're going to make the other block. And the other block looks like this, like a sailboat. And your dark has to always be to the same side. So again, once you figure out how to make this and go back and compare it to the pictures, then make all of them at the same time. Okay? So what I did is I took, can't tell which side's the right side and the wrong side in the sunlight. Okay, I took these 2 triangles and I'm trying to make sure when they're laying against the other triangle that it is in the same direction. Here we go, let's go down a little bit and make sure, how can I get this? Let's go back over here out of the sun again. Okay, so when I'm laying this out, I have these sitting off to the side. All right, camera, what's going on now? There we go. All right, so I have these, the ones I've made, sitting off to the side. Here we go. Okay, so that when I put the new one together, I know that it's going to go the same way. So, means that this and this need to go like that. So there's my sailboat. The dark is to the one side and the white is to the other side. So I now know I can sew this together like so. And then when it's sewed together, I can sew it, same thing, take this one and find your middle and your middle so that you end up with this once you trim it down to the 4.5 inches. Okay, let's go back. So your dark, and your light, and that they're all the same. All right. I don't like that this new system doesn't allow me to see who's actually still watching because I could be talking to myself now. Just give me a holler or say something. Sorry, guys. All right. So then, when you get them together, you're going to do 3 rows. And they are, I'm going to show you the picture first because that's the good way to do it. You're going to have one row that looks like this top, where you have the one that looks like flying geese, but it's not on it, on each side, and then the other one in the center. And then you're going to have a row that looks like this, that extra white piece that is still left from what you cut with what I'm calling the beaks on the outside of it. And then the same thing that you had on top, but on the bottom. And again, if you look, these have to be, the reason I stress putting these all the same, because they need to be in order for make this go around nice and pretty. Okay, so we're gonna do the middle one. No, maybe not. Okay, so these are your the two end pieces for the middle, and this piece the sailboat on this is going to look like it is upside down. And I'll show you. See how the sailboat, there's the rudder of the sailboat, and there's its sails. This is going to be facing up, and then your white block is going to go in the center. I hope this is not too Beak Sequel sailboat. She's so smart. So this is really nice on how you put it together. Thanks, Melissa, for saying that, because this block, I'm trying to do it, explain it so simple that it doesn't overwhelm anybody, because I know I've put the thing together wrong a couple times and had to take it back apart, but it looks really cool when it's all done. And I'll post a picture of mine when I finish it, but I'm going to show you this black and white and yellow one that I did again. So you can see how, here we go, where am I? You can see how the sailboat joins in. So you get this cool little shape that goes around. And again here. And again here. And it's kind of neat how it offsets the star. I'm going to come up a little bit so we can see. Like I said, and I did this one in some other colors because it actually belongs to my advanced quilting class. And in that advanced quilting class, I actually walk you through piece by piece on how to put this together, turning things for you so you can see what I'm talking about, how it can go in wrong and all that fun stuff. And unfortunately, this one, I'm doing it on the computer because we are still in quarantine. But on that note, I don't know if anybody else has, if you guys have any more questions. How are you doing? Let's see if I can get me back in the camera here. Hi! If you guys have been following me, this is a fun, really pretty block. But again, follow the instructions and make each section of the block, make them all at the same time. So once you have it done, you know they're all going to look the same, like these. So when they get put together, they'll all fit the way they're supposed to be. And if you do it wrong, it looks like this, and you get to get Jack the Ripper out, which I enjoy doing. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys the trick with Jack the Ripper. Here's my Jack the Ripper. If you take Jack the Ripper, stupid song. Okay, you do the Jack the Ripper, and you break about every fifth stitch on here. And I'll do that real quick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got mail, my computer just said. If you've done that, then you should be able to just pull that apart. And I bet I didn't get that on camera because I wasn't holding it in the right place. Okay. So you're able to pull it apart by breaking that, and then your bobbin thread will come off in one giant string. So just break about every 5th stitch on your top thread, and then you'll be able to pull it apart, and you don't have to sit there and break and pull it like this. And because then if you do it the other way, the way that most people do, where you sit there like this and you're breaking all of these strings in between, like so, then you end up stretching the fabric, which can make your blocks wonky also. This is just another simple little trick. See? And this one is the one that got caught in the machine, so it's got a big bulb right here. But there you go. So then you end up with the two pieces, and then you can sew them on the correct way. But I would do all of this one first, and then I would do it with this one next, do them all at the same time, and then do all of these triangles, the little top of the sailboat together, and then attach this to them. Then when you put the block together, it's a simple iron the top ones in or out, the middle one opposite direction, and then the last one, the last one, go ahead and iron it the same way you did the first, and then just nest your seams together and it'll be beautiful. Okay, I expect to see pictures from Tammy. Miss Tammy, I haven't seen in. The name of the block, Jean, is Paradox. And let me show you the picture again. There you go. And you can go back in the video or start the video over, Jean, and it'll give you all of the sizes. Paradox, block 6. And this is, as I stated earlier, it's a difficult block, but it's so beautiful when it's all put together. Okay, so is everybody doing all right? I'm going to pull back here. I'm going to show this one. This is my black, yellow, and gray one that I did. And the purple, blue, and peach one will be up on Facebook shortly. Now, I need an answer from people. Sunday is Easter. I normally have a live about 1 o'clock on Easter with specials and the next block. And the next block is going to be so simple that you'll forgive me for giving you this one. Hi, Tammy. You can do it. But I just want to know if you guys are going to be around Sunday at 1 o'clock. I hope you are, because we're still quarantined, that you're not going out and doing the big family gathering, which we're all used to. We'll just have to do it a week later or 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, but we'll eventually do it. If you still want to do it on Sunday at 1. So please message me. Let me know if you want to do that. And then again, I'm wondering if you ladies are up to actually doing a live interactive, like I was teaching you in the front of the class, where you can actually speak to me on your cameras, and I can speak to you on mine. I would love to do the Bargello table runner that way. Let me know if anyone's interested. The class was supposed to be at Hobby Lobby, and as you know, we can't go there. So I would love to do that. It's called Zoom app, which I know everybody's hearing all the bad things about it. If we have special passwords and make the room private, we shouldn't be hijacked, I hope. We're going to try it, and if we get hijacked, we can all have a good laugh together at whatever they're having to say. But I would love to do that. I'd love to do that in 2 weeks. Melissa, if you think it's possible, I can have kits made up for people if you give me the colors, or I can get you what you need in advance. And then because I have to do it as an interactive, I want to be able to charge for it like a regular class. So just give me a heads up, give me a holler, whatever, to let me know what you're thinking. And I would appreciate that. And I think I'm gonna. Hello, Mr. Mailman. We are live on TV. So this is Millie, who's barking at the mailman. And she's our shop dog. Thanks, Leroy. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you very much.
You bet. So Millie's going to be quiet now. And I think 2 weeks we're going to do the Bargello class, and I think it's going to be great, and I think we're going to have a blast. And in the next 2 weeks, watch for the invites to sign up for it and an invoice for it. We'll charge $20 for the class for the time. You will need the Zoom app on your computer. Doesn't cost anything. but I think it can be fun, and you guys get to be guinea pigs. So maybe as guinea pigs, I will charge less for the class. But watch for everything to come in the mail. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think the guy just delivered my Blacklock rulers. So if you've ordered one, I think that they just came. I just need to double check. But I'll give you a holler all. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine, even though it's irritating me right now. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you all. Bye bye.